So it all started at the end of 2022. I was in the most vulnerable places ever in my life. I was a full-time business owner, a wig stylist, and everything just came crashing down. I had some financial issues going on that took a strain on my personal finances, and it just led to me spiraling like real bad. During that time, I had a few people that I could rely on and talk to keep my spirit uplifted, while I was trying to, get myself together with my business and everything. At the time, my car had went down. When it went down, I had to pay so much money to get it fixed. And when I did that, I got behind on like my rent in my apartment. And then I also had to pay rent at the shop, which just completely took a toll on me, y'all. Like, when I say I literally was at the bottom pit of like hell, I was so depressed, so stressed out, that I needed an outlet. Like, I needed someone that I can confide in, someone that I could talk to really pick myself up and move forward, So my best friend, we're going to call her Jasmine. Jasmine was currently in therapy, and she was on a different platform than the one I decided to go with. Only because I was working this seasonal job, and they was really big on mental health, and they were paying for sessions. So Jasmine was telling me all about her experience, on how great her sessions were, how she really connected with her therapist, and how helpful it was and everything. And so I was just like, I'm inspired to give this a try, Let's see how it goes. So I ended up getting onto the platform where my job was paying for, and I ended up matching with a therapist. My therapist was Black and female. And what I needed help with, she specialized in. So I was really excited that I was finally going to get the help that I needed. I just wanted somebody I can talk to, be real with, and get some guidance on where I can move forward. So the platform that I decided to join is actually a virtual platform. So you can talk to a therapist through messaging, voice, or video. You got options. So I started mine out with audio. I honestly was just kind of figuring things out. I didn't really want to show my face. I was just like, I just ready to talk. So in January is when I started my healing journey. I went on and signed up in January. Remember, in December is when everything was going down of 2022. January of that new year, 2023, is when I actually started my sessions. It was actually January 10th. It was 7 days, a week after my birthday. So I ended up starting my journey with therapy. Like I said, I did audio sessions. I met with my therapist. The first session that we had was at night. Our first session was really good. It was an opening. She really thanked me for even giving therapy a chance, because a lot of Black people don't really, prioritize our mental health like that. And so she was just saying how important and essential therapy is for us as a whole. So we went over things that I wanted to work on. I had homework. I had to write down the things that I needed assistance with, things that I really needed to prioritize at the time, because I had a lot going on. But I had to narrow it down to like 3 things. It was about like my relationship and, my business and just my overall confidence, that I had lost. So after that session ended, I was already really, really nervous about therapy. I really didn't know what to expect. Jasmine, my best friend, was just like, girl, like, it's okay. It's going to be good. Don't be nervous. Like, this journey is going to be Really, really beneficial. You're going to see. It's going to be very helpful. Just give it a chance. Keep at it. I'm glad you had a good first session. Like, just keep going. So that's what I did. I kept going. So I had another session with her. It was really, really good. I talked about, just kind of giving her like the rundown of my business, how I got started, where I fell off at, all the things that I had going on. And so we end up, finding out that I had PTSD because I had a hard time getting back to where I left off with it. Okay, so then the third session that we had, now mind y'all, I looked at toe up from the flow up every session, but she never knew because hell, we was doing audio only. I was so damn stressed out, y'all. Like, I didn't give a fuck. Like, I looked at a hot mess. Like, it looked like I was getting ready to clean houses, okay? Like, it was crazy. So this third session, I was just talking about how I was trying to put myself back out there on social media because, I've always been really big on social media, inspiring others, giving business tips. And so she was just like, this is your journey. You should be comfortable with being you, be okay with putting that post out there. And then I was telling her how my ex had been coming under my post. Every time I make a post, here she comes. And so it makes me not want to post. And she was just like, she got mad. She was just like, really? She was like, oh, F her. Don't let her come and mess you up, or don't let her interfere with what you got going on. None of that. No. Just like really, really like got my back. You know what I'm saying? So she was just like, turn your camera on. Turn your camera on because I want to be able to see you say what I'm about to ask you to say. So at this point, y'all, like, I had actually looked it good that day because right after my session, I had somewhere to go. I had not intended on doing no damn video session showing my face. I didn't intend on doing none of that. But when she asked me, I was like, shit, I'm glad you asked last week. So I didn't even notice that she had already turned her camera on. So when I looked down at my phone, she was on there. And she had locks. It was apparent that she looked like she was a stud. Like she, But I wasn't really sure. A lot of women have locks. But anyway, I picked up the phone. I turned the camera on. For a hot second, she paused. But then she went on and said what she said. She was just like, I want you to tell me that you the shit. And I'm just like, I'm the shit. She was like, nah, say it with your chest. You the shit, right? So I'm saying I'm the shit, all that stuff. So she was just like, I want you to remember that. And anytime you feeling down, I want you to repeat that and know that because you are. When I tell y'all her style of therapy was just so real, so authentic, so on point for me, I really feel like we were connected. So after that session, she had sent me a message in the chat. She was just like, really great job with the session today. I'm glad that you was able to open up. Make sure you do your homework and all that good stuff. And she was just like, if you want to schedule a video session, next time you can do so or whatever. But I was just like, okay, yeah, cool. It was cool, connecting with you on a personal level. So due to TikTok's 10-minute timer limit, whatever, I'm going to have to create a part 2. So go ahead and drop part 2 in the comments, y'all. Follow me so you can follow the story. It gets deeper than deep, y'all. I know the further we go into the story, the more emotional it would be for me. I'm bracing myself, so you should do the same. I'll see you guys in part 2. From Trust to Trauma.